We've all seen the camera work. An ad for an airline, declassified footage of a military jet, a stunt pilot in a movie, or maybe even early documentary footage of the first attempts at powered flight. Now, like most activities in the video age, aviation is constantly being captured, dissected, and presented on a television screen. As a subject for the camera, aviation has a great deal to offer. Color, action, and a certain mystique that seems to reach all the way back to Kitty Hawk. The challenge, then, is to continually discover the unique, the never-before-seen. In the next half hour, you are going to see the results of the hunt. Examples of some of the best angles and the purest composition. Dozens of one-of-a-kind subjects that have been captured in the viewfinder. Now, whether you're an armchair pilot or you hop into the cockpit every day, I can guarantee that you have never seen airplanes quite like this. Airplanes have always been a sure source of entertainment for television and for movies. In fact, the very first Academy Award went to the World War I epic entitled Wings. From Sky King to Top Gun, Hollywood consistently turns to the theme of flight. In the newsreels, aviation was frequently treated as a novelty. Stunt flying and the bizarre often ruled the day.
Plane propelled by bicycle pedals. It's a momentous occasion. All aviation stops to watch.
The newsworthy events weren't ignored entirely, but because of the limited capabilities of the medium, film coverage during aviation's early days was sporadic. For instance, this is believed to be the only existing footage of Amelia Earhart's final takeoff from the east coast of New Guinea. But today, advances in technology make it possible for the people who make the news to document it themselves. Specialized professional equipment like this tiny lipstick camera can share a single-place cockpit with a pilot or be attached to the airplane in ways never really thought of before. It's easy to see when you put a wide-angle lens on one of these cameras how the viewer can be made to feel like they're in the action. The Sukhoi is one of the top aerobatic airplanes in the world. Produced in Russia, the airplane was first exported to the United States in 1989. Its speed and maneuverability make it an excellent subject for the camera. In the following sequence, notice the drastically different points of view furnished by cameras mounted in and on the airplane. To achieve these results, 7 separate missions had to be flown, one for each camera angle. When aerobatic maneuvers are tied together, they present the thrilling spectacle of performance and competition. Each carefully controlled routine contains precise timing, smooth progression, and the impression of danger. Every pilot strives to bring something unique to a routine. The mixture of different styles and aircraft assures that no two routines look alike. Often, pilots have both performance and competitive backgrounds. Current U.S. National Aerobatic Champion Patty Wagstaff brings a perfect blend of precision and flair to her routine. Like many aerobatic performers, Sean Tucker uses smoke in his act. For the camera operator, it's an opportunity to back away from the action and allow the screen to be filled with something other than close-ups of the airplane. Formations are another way to fill the screen and keep the action moving. Sometimes the strain on the pilot and the aircraft is so great it affects the camera equipment. Here, Elena Klimovich performs a maneuver that actually pulls the videotape away from the heads of the record deck, causing the picture to break up. Specialty acts afford additional options. Examples include wing walkers, comedy routines, or unusual acts. This isn't a camera trick. Craig Hosking's double take lands right side up and upside down. Naturally, the impact of what you're seeing is a function of editing. The proper selection and sequencing of shots makes television viewing the next best thing to being there. Aerobatic performance and competition are often the backbone of air shows and other aviation activities. The Experimental Aircraft Association's annual fly-in convention is the largest sport aviation gathering in the world. Now, the week's activities are typically documented on over 200 video cassettes. Now, these tapes are then taken and edited down into a 1-hour special that's broadcast on cable television. That's approximately 60 hours of footage shot for every 1 hour televised. Now, of course, all of this raw footage doesn't just go to waste. It's properly logged and archived for inclusion in a multitude of other corporate, retail, and broadcast productions. Now, the value of the one-of-a-kind shot alone ensures that this footage will see years of use. Camera operators shooting from the ground form the foundation to which the mount shots are added. Air shows and fly-ins provide the best opportunity to record a wide array of subjects. Camera crews, such as EAA's own staff, have access to areas closed to the general public. The end of the runway is an obvious spot for some sensational takeoffs and landings. Extra caution must be taken so potentially dangerous situations are avoided. The flight line is the primary shooting spot. By moving off the ground, camera angles can be manipulated. A distracting foreground is often eliminated, so attention is directed to the main subject. The majority of aircraft at air shows and conventions are on the ground. Static airplanes lend themselves to the extremes of casual and artistic composition. Possibly the most satisfying and yet most hazardous shooting comes with formation flying. These shots require careful execution. Specially adapted and approved aircraft are utilized. A team in the chase aircraft, consisting of a pilot, camera operator, and spotter, form up with the pilot of the subject airplane. The military was the first to exploit the use of cameras in airplanes. Mount cameras were used for reconnaissance and to measure pilot proficiency. In addition, Hollywood filmmakers contributed their talents to the war effort. These aircraft were once involved in global conflict. Today, historic warbirds still evoke the same emotions they did a half a century ago. So far, we've been dealing with powered flight, and then only with traditional propeller and jet aircraft. To the fan of any one of a dozen or so other aviation activities, that's unforgivable. Now, some of these disciplines have been around a lot longer than the airplane. Others still are hybrids, which are fairly new. Ultralights and rotorcraft, together with non-powered categories of flight, have risen to the forefront of recreational aviation during the last few decades. The accessibility of several of these forms is the key to their popularity. Historically, sports activities presented in newsreels and on television have unfolded as if on stage. Well, today we are no longer content to simply see the action. We want to be a part of it. We demand to be in the huddle with the quarterback, behind the wheel of the race car, at the elbow of the catcher. And every day, with the development of easy-to-use cameras and computer systems such as virtual reality, the barriers continue to fall. Well, if the footage you've seen today has helped shatter that final wall for you, then we've succeeded. But better yet, perhaps we've prompted you to want to try the real thing, to experience firsthand the liberating feeling of flight. Well, as the people who are behind the camera will always tell you, at least half the fun of capturing that one-of-a-kind shot is being up there when you get it.